Hey guys, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. We're here with the Lunch Money edition of the Build Your Online Business Show. And I'm your host, Danielle Winningham. For those of you who don't know who I am a former JP Morgan Chase Vice President, Master Life and Master Business Coach, founder of multiple women's initiatives. And if you don't know, I left my job in corporate America to pursue my full-time passion, which is helping you get your bread so you ain't got to go to work. And I'm here with Rose Fauntleroy today. Rose, introduce yourself.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. I'm Rose Fauntleroy. I am your virtual time genie, and let me share something with them, Coach, about you. I retired from my job in December, so I don't have to go to work anymore either. But guess what? I got to do that not just because I had worked hard for a number of years, but because I had a plan and I perfected that plan by working with Coach D. And part of perfecting that plan was having a profit plan because there's no use in coming home to sit down and you don't have no money.
Absolutely. And not only that, Rose, I think a lot of times without a profit plan, guys, and if you haven't shared the broadcast, make sure you share the broadcast. Thank you, CJ, for sharing. You don't even know where your money is or what you're capable of doing with your money. So you mindlessly continue to go to work. You mindlessly continue to clock in for somebody else. You mindlessly continue to spend money on things like lunch and work clothes and gas and tolls, not realizing that with the right budget, thank you, Eli, for sharing, you could be sitting at home making your own money. You have to have a plan. I don't care who you are. Thank you, Rose, for starting a watch party. You have to have a plan as to what you're going to do about your personal freedom. And what better time than as we go out here and celebrate other people's independence and other people's freedom on Independence Day? What better time to be serious about your own freedom? And generating revenue is just that. Thank you, Eli, for starting a watch party. Having your own revenue is freedom from a job, is freedom from debt, is freedom to travel. Because I'm gonna tell you, if we wasn't in this Cordoba, baby Rose, and I'm telling you what your yacht Rose will be on right now. And we live these lives, guys, for everybody else. And we've got to be careful that in all of our living, we don't leave our dreams, our aspirations, our hopes, and our plans for the future behind. So join us Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, 7/7 at 7 p.m. to get your profits on paper, bit.ly/red, white, green. And I called it red, white, green because this ain't about red, white, blue. That's America. Red, white, and green is getting your business out of the red so you can be super clean the way you're white, having a pocket full of green, and quit playing with people.
Absolutely.
And more importantly, the only person you're hurting by not having a profit plan on paper is you.
It's you.
The only person you're hurting by not crunching your number and really understanding what it is you want out of life is you. Everybody around you, everybody is living their own life. And at the point where you measure yourself against everybody else is the point where you're not only going to come up short, but that's also the point where you're going to come up unhappy. What is it that you want out of your life? And that's the question we're going to be asking Tuesday. And how much does it cost? And before I turn it over to Rose, I want to share with you guys a story. I remember I had a client in one of my classes where I was helping them with their money. And I asked them, I said, what is your big dream for your money? And she said, my big dream is to go to London. She said, but I've never been able to afford it. So I said, okay, when is the last time you looked for a trip to London? She said, the last time I looked, it's been years. It was probably gonna cost me $6,000 or $7,000 to get to Europe. I said, girl,
no,
go look. Go look, because you'll be surprised as to what the world has to offer you. Go look.
Is that my Cujo? There he goes.
You see him?
I did. I saw his tail wagging behind you.
Go look, because you'll be surprised as to what you're talking yourself out of because you haven't explored your options and you don't understand what's possible with your money. I'm gonna give you an example. The other night we were riding through River Oaks, which is a prominent Houston community, and they have really nice houses, but the houses are extremely overpriced. Extremely. They're big and they're pretty, but they're overpriced. You can take that same house and find it somewhere else in the world. Who says where? Who's to say where?
Wherever your heart desires.
Wherever you can find that house. So you don't have any restrictions except for the restrictions that you put on you and your money. So I went out, found the same house I liked for 2.5, turned around and found the same house for 1.5. I might fool around and find that same house somewhere for 750,000.
That's right.
You gotta stop telling yourself what you can't have. And that's what this, guys, it's about to be the third quarter. Half of the year is, Rose, can you believe?
No, Coach, I cannot believe it.
You lie.
No, I cannot. And I know, the old folks used to say, well, I ain't gonna say the old folks. My mom and daddy used to say the older you get, the faster time moves. But who would have thought that here we are in the 7th month of the year and we've had to sit still all this time? You've had 7 months.
It's a poem that says, when I was an old man, time ran.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's running. And what are you doing to run with it? I mean, you have the time, you're supposed to be sitting still. And if you're not sitting still, you've slowed down because you don't have a choice. But when you slow down, do something with that slow time so that when you can get out here and be halfway normal again, because it's a different time now. And see, when a different time, you do different things. You can't put old wine in new wineskins.
Well, as I said last night, you can't put an old beer in a new beer can.
You sure can. You can't do it, Coach. And now we are now in a time that will never be again. What we had before the Coronora, because that's what I call her, she the Coronora. What we had before the Coronora, that's not going to be anymore. So now you got to adapt and you got to pivot, you got to change with some new time. So do some new things. Do some things that you may have been scared to do before. Just do it. I mean, if it's not going to kill you, if it's not going to kill somebody else, if it's not going to, I mean, heck, if it chop off a fingernail, so what?
Girl.
That's on my end, I think.
No.
That's on your end too?
That's these Amber Alerts.
Oh, wow.
About the Coronora.
About the Coronora?
Yes, baby. They said it's 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
When you leave your house, wear your mask, or you might get a fine.
Yep. I'm gonna have to put in here. Y'all know what my mantra is. Hashtag stay your ass at home.
Yes, baby.
They only do that because it's a social day.
I know, baby.
That's the only reason. They try to put on people's mind. We keep the distance, y'all. We're going to keep the distance. I know y'all gonna get out there.
Or act a fool. They're gonna act a donkey.
That's all they're saying.
Well, they trying to remind them not to.
I hope they don't.
And we have to remember too, as people, that there's always, God willing, there's always tomorrow.
Yes.
Acting like,
it's the last day.
Right.
But do something different. I mean, if you've taken the same, even the coroner out here, if you've taken the same way home, you out riding around, and you've taken the same way home every day, go a different way this time. Go a different way. You might see something different. You might experience something different, or something that you was just scared to do. Just do it. If it's not gonna kill you or somebody else, you can do what you want. You can do what you want. Trust me when I say it. Because if it weren't for the coroner, ain't no telling, said Helen, where I would be. I can tell you that right now. And I'm even thinking, I'm going to give it a couple more months and see what happens. But if y'all see me on the airplane with a spacesuit on and a scuba tank with some oxygen,
you had to get out.
Just know I had to make a run for the border. I might have on a big old scuba mask, a big old tank on my back, bring my own oxygen, bring my own clean air, but I might have to make a run for the border. Somewhere, because where is it? Where was it I saw yesterday that they have not had one case? It's an island, and they're just opening back up. They have not had one case of COVID. Not one.
Well, girl, they ain't finna let you fly up in there.
Not one. I'm gonna come with some test results. Now the Turks and Caicos is opening back up. I think July 22nd. But they want you to go to your doctor or wherever and get your test results. And if your test results are negative, you bring that with you. They're gonna take your temperature. They might let you in. If you have all your documentation to show that you've either not had it or negative for a certain period of time, they'll let you in. Now, I talked to a friend of mine in Nassau last weekend, and she said they've only had 7 cases there. 7 deaths. They've only had 7 deaths because they closed down right away. So, like I said, if you see me with my scuba gear and a tank on my back, just know I couldn't take it any longer. But the reason I can do that, or the reason I could do that if I wanted to, is because I put a plan in place long before we got to this point.
And you know what was specific about your plan, Rose, is you went after what you wanted.
Oh, yeah.
And I think too often in life, we sit and we wait or think we can have certain things, right?
And really, you can.
We make plans according to what we think we can have instead of making plans for what our dreams are.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's part of what we're going to be doing Tuesday too, guys, is really outlining what do you want out of life and how much is it going to cost and what are you willing to give up now so you can have something that you really want. You know, we spend so much money sitting in place, spending money in your own city, spending money at that same local restaurant, spending money ripping and running up and down the street. And you could have been to the Bahamas, Aruba, the Virgin Islands, Head, Myrtle Beach. You could have been somewhere.
Yeah, you could have easily been somewhere, because one thing, you got to decide what you want, and don't be afraid to dream. You pressed it down, you go to work every day, you just feel like this is all there is. There's so much more. You just have to say that you want so much more. And when you don't work, you get a steady paycheck, but that paycheck doesn't take you by the end of the month or the end of those 2 weeks, you looking for the next paycheck because you don't spend it all out. But when you don't work, you don't have clothes to buy. You don't have lunch to buy. You don't necessarily have gas to buy. So the things that you were spending outside of the house, you now bring into the house and can repurpose that into furthering your dreams and your goals and what you want. And you'd be surprised when you make a decision, as Dr. Cynthia likes to say. Over here, we get mad. We make a decision. Once you make a decision about what you really want, the universe opens up doors and things to make that happen. And you'd be surprised at how quickly that happens. As soon as you say to the universe, you ask God, can you help me with this? You make your plan. You turn it over to God. You turn it over to the universe. And then he will fashion it the way that he sees fit for it to work for you. You just have
to be on the lookout.
That's right. You have to be paid. And yeah, there are sacrifices to make along the way. I knew I wanted to come out at an early age. Why did I want to come out at an early age? Because I don't feel like you should work for somebody all your life. And you come out at an early age so that you can enjoy your life. You can okay.
You can keep talking now.
Okay. You could do the things that you want to do. Now, when you get to you work till you're 72, 74 years old, or you work until you Social Security retirement age. Yeah, you do. You are going to want to retire at that age. Why? Because you don't work yourself damn near to death. You can't do nothing but sit down. You don't feel like traveling around the world. Hell, you might not even feel like traveling to the next state because you're tired. You're tired. I wanted to come out when I wasn't tired. I wanted to come out when I could still do some things. So if you want to make a plan to do some things, join us on July the 7th for the halftime profit planning session. Go to bit.ly/red, white, and green. And if you haven't decided or you don't know why you want to do some things, still come and start a map. Start drawing out what you want. That's the first step. Draw out what you want. You may not have all the pieces in your head right yet, or you might not even know where any of the pieces are. But come and start putting together a map. Put together a map and start you on your way. And y'all also know my mantra. Please share the broadcast because sharing is caring, y'all. And you never know who you may help. And I like being able to help people get what they want. So it may not be for you, but it may be for someone else. You may change someone else's life. You know, you sharing the broadcast with someone else could be their answered prayer. You know, because we pray for all kinds of things. Sometimes we pray for things and God said, well, here it is. And we said, no, that ain't how I wanted it. You don't recognize it. So one of the things I guess we could pray for is discernment. Discernment to know that when he gives us what we ask for, we recognize it. We recognize it. So everybody, what y'all doing out there today? It's the holiday weekend, not our holiday weekend, but it's a holiday weekend for some. What y'all doing? I hope y'all staying in. Y'all can go. I might cook out on the grill. I might cook out on the patio this weekend. But, you know, like Coach was saying, I couldn't have left my job at my early age, because I'm an early age, and been able to still thrive if I didn't have a plan. You know, and you don't go on a trip. When you go on a trip, even if the trip is just to the next state or the next state.
Right. You don't go nowhere without writing it down.
You don't go nowhere without either your GPS or writing it down on paper. And me, because, you know, GPS doesn't always work because, you know, depending on how you hit the cell tower, you better print out a copy of those directions just in case. You always have to have a just in case.
And remember, before GPS, we used those Thomas guides.
Sure did.
Do y'all remember a Thomas guide? Hey, Richard, how are you? Yeah. So, and then before that, we had MapQuest.
That's right. That's right. And sometimes when that phone went out, I know I went to Northern Virginia to a party. Now I know Northern Virginia, but I couldn't figure out how to get to the person's house. So I had my GPS. Well, guess what? The MapQuest went out because the internet connection went down. I had to pull over and call them from the gas station and say, look, can you come and get me or tell me how to get to you? I didn't print out the directions. You always have to have a backup plan.
And you got to have, we become so dependent on these computers.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my notes in my iPad. it doesn't resonate the same as when you put it on paper.
It's when you write it
I'm
down.
gonna put this. I'm gonna listen to this Kindle. It doesn't resonate the same as when you read it for yourself. So we got to start having a commitment to ourselves.
Mhm.
That the same way you write a to-do list for your job, the same way you write a grocery list, the same way you write all of these other things, you've got to write a plan for your money.
That's right. That's right, coach. Because if you don't write a plan for your money, that's why a lot of people say, you know, I made all this money and I don't know where it went.
And that's why a lot of people don't make a lot of money, because you gotta give your money, you gotta have an expectation for your money.
And an
You gotta
assignment.
give your money an assignment absolutely before you get it.
That's right.
Or you won't go get it because you feel like you don't need anything.
Or you'll end up giving it away on foolishness. And I guess I shouldn't say
Absolutely.
foolishness because everybody's priorities are different. But you'll end up giving away your money without realizing that you've given away all your money for something that's not going to benefit you. Because you are important. You can't take
And
care
your
of your
dreams
family.
are too.
Your dreams are too. You can't take care of your family and stuff if you don't take care of you and you're not happy and you're not fulfilled. You fulfilling someone else is good, but you have to be fulfilled too in order to be able to pass that happiness on to someone else. You really do. And you do have to make some sacrifices. Now, I didn't get here, to retire at this early age without some sacrifices. But what were my sacrifices? Well, I chose I didn't want to have a big house yet. I didn't want to drive the latest car. Now, I used to, when I used to buy a car, when the warranty getting ready to run out, I go buy me another brand new car. But guess what? That was stupid.
No, I'm not gonna say it was
When you don't know, but when you don't know better, you do those things. Once I learned better, I said, okay, what do I want? Do I want the latest car, or do I want the freedom to be able to go and get any car and don't have to work for somebody else?
And that's the question. So whatever you want to do, it's not stupid, but you got to understand that you do have to make choices and you can't do it all. So if you want to be in that profit planning session with us, normally $199. This half year session is only $39. Go to bit.ly/red-white-green. Get your ticket today. It's going to be an amazing opportunity for you to really sit still and wrap your mind around this second half of the year. The third quarter is here. The fourth quarter is right around the corner.
It is
Don't
it.
let it catch you by surprise.
Oh my God.
It's here.
bit.ly/red-white-green. Y'all, $39. You don't know what you'll come out with a plan
Sure
that
they
will
know.
$39,000.
Exactly, if not more. So guys,
my
we're gonna get out of here. Have an amazing observe Independence Day. But remember, the real independence is you being able to get your money right. bit.ly/red-white-green. Join us Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time so we can talk about how to get your money ready for the second half of the year. Love you guys. Have a good afternoon.